12, I believe, when we went to juniors. She had great parents. Her mom, she didn't know times at all, except for this one time. And she's like, she needs to do such and such a time. And I looked at her and I'm like, Lynn, how do you know that? You don't know times at all. She goes, she's got it posted all over a room, all over a bathroom. I mean, it's all over the place. But that was pretty funny. And when she made it, her mom screamed like crazy. I mean, she couldn't believe it. Andrea was my first national champion, like she said, in 1985. I think that was, 10 years ago? No, I guess it was 30 years ago. But it was pretty neat in '88 to have the three Olympians from Pensacola, Florida. Andrea, who would still come home in the summer and train with us, and then Beth Barr and Daniel Waters, two high schoolers, and that was pretty neat. But that was definitely pretty awesome. As a lot of you all know me, I like to tell a joke, and usually when I do a talk or even with my athletes to kind of relieve a little tension, we do a little joke. So I've got a joke for y'all. On July 20th, 1969, as the commander of the Apollo 11 lunar module, Neil Armstrong was the first person to set foot on the moon. His first words after stepping on the moon, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," was heard by millions of people all over the world. But just before he re-entered the lander, he made the enigmatic remark, "Good luck, Mr. Gorski." Many people at NASA thought it was a casual remark concerning some rival Soviet cosmonaut. However, upon checking, there was no Gorski in either Russia or American space programs. Over the years, many people had asked him about that, and he just always smiled and never answered. On July 5th in Tampa Bay, Florida, while answering questions following a speech, another reporter brought it up and asked him. This time he finally responded because Mr. Gorski had died, and he felt like he could answer the question. In 1938, he said, when he was a kid in a small Midwest town, he was playing baseball with a friend in the backyard. His friend hit the ball, which landed in the neighbor's yard by their bedroom windows. His neighbors were Mr. and Mrs. Gorski. As he leaned down to pick up the ball, young Armstrong heard Mrs. Gorski shouting at Mr. Gorski, "Sex? You want sex? I'll give you sex when that kid next door walks on the moon." 40 plus years ago, I felt like I had less of a chance to make it in any kind of swimming hall of fame than Mr. Gorski had of getting lucky. Thanks, John, and congratulations. It's awesome for you to be going in, and what a great group of 4 other people that I know and have known for a long time and very good friends with. This is awesome. And I'd like to thank, obviously asking the rest of the staff and the board of directors and everything. I'd like to thank my former swimmers, Andrea and others, for making me look good. I'd like to thank my assistants, and there's been many. I've got 3 of them over here, Vince Ferrucci, former assistant, Bob Herlinger, and Mark Hesse, for helping make me look good. And I'd like to thank most of my swim parents for thinking I was good. And I said most because, as you all know, you can be the greatest coach in the world, and there's still going to be a couple of parents that think you're an idiot. So, John, I don't know if you asked all the other coaches, but he asked me to list, all the different places in my road places where I coached and stuff like that, and some of my assistants that I worked with, and swimmers, some of the top swimmers, and I hope I didn't leave anybody out. I thought that was interesting, and I definitely called some different people about that. I've coached at all kind of different levels. Started off as teaching swim lessons and coaching summer league. Did Y, club, and all age groups, not just the senior group, high school, assistant at college, head at college. And a word of advice for young coaches that want to get in college: coach age group first. It's going to help you in the long run. You figure out how to teach younger kids to swim and how to correct their strokes, and that's only going to make you be that much better that way. Always strive to learn. I mean, that's something, you know, when you feel like you know it all, that's when you start going backwards. And, you know, I try and learn every chance I get. Definite plug for this clinic because Bob, I remember that Playboy bunny walking down the aisle. That was the first clinic I think that I went to, and I've been to almost all of them since then. You pick up things in talks, you pick up, you know, just learn things, and it just helps you get motivated. You learn from coaches that you work with and coaches that you had. Things to do and things not to do. But like I said, clinics, talking to others, other coaches, mentors, swimmers, and just trying to learn from videos. Couple of the coaches I do want to select, and there's been a lot that I've definitely learned from different clinics, but you know, I had a high school coach who definitely made swimming fun and was a great motivator in Butch Trailu. Coaching in New Orleans, I learned a lot about stroke from Dick Bauer. You know, I was fortunate enough to work a year in Nashville with Don Talbot and learn some things from him. And then obviously 4 years coaching at Georgia, you know, with Jack and Harvey and Carol and Whitney. I mean, we had a good group there, and we definitely shared and learned some things. But from all those things that you learn from those other coaches, be yourself. Don't try and coach like somebody else. Make sure you're honest with yourself. And I've been kind of a little bit, you know, Pensacola's kind of away from things. We weren't very good when I got there. You know, Texas A&M was kind of the same thing a little bit, and you're able to do what you want, and you're able to try and bring your swimmers to do some things, to get them to believe that they can do some things at the next level. And with, like, as Andrea talked about, I mean, psychology and them, you believing in yourself is something that's really important. Be involved on the pool deck. I give feedback constantly, and I think that's so huge. Have fun with what you're doing, and that's really important. Motivate, work on technique, utilize video and help them with their technique there. I definitely still enjoy what I'm doing. I mean, this is awesome, it's Hall of Fame, and I'm very honored and very proud.